10 seconds. It's weird because usually you hit that time and everybody is like chilling. All right, would everybody find a place to sit down? All right, thank you. Although it is good to hear all the chatter and everybody enjoying each other's company. All right, we're going to get started in just a moment. Our board members are seated. We're good to go. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Orange County School Board's regular meeting, which has been scheduled for today, Tuesday, November 11th, 2025. Thank you all for being with us tonight. No, this is not a throwback to 2021, but I do have a little bit of a cold, so out of respect for my colleagues up here, I'm wearing a mask. And I forgot how uncomfortable that is and how we all got used to it. But enough of my complaining. As a reminder, board members will not be engaged in outside electronic or digital communication during our meeting so that we can focus our full attention on the matters in front of us and celebrating our great guests here today. To my fellow board members, district staff, and anybody else who may be speaking to the board or to the public, please make sure that you are very close to your microphone and it's turned on. It's sometimes very hard for it to pick up your voices, and we want to make sure that anybody that's tuning in or watches this later on YouTube has an opportunity to hear what you're saying. So with that, we are going to, oh boy, that's really hard. We're going to take a moment of silence in just a minute, but I'd like to thank all the members of our OCPS family who served and continue to serve our nation as part of the armed forces. Today is Veterans Day, and 16 million veterans nationwide, including district employees, family members of our students, and OCPS alumni who have gone on to serve. You have made sacrifices for that our students can live in a free community and nation, and we are forever grateful, not only to those of you who work for or have been a member of OCPS, but for everyone here in Central Florida and across the nation. And now I will invite you to join us in a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. And now for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Dr. Vasquez, before we get too far along, can you tell me if there's any changes to today's agenda?
Madam Chair, there are no changes to the agenda.
All right, wonderful. Is there a motion to adopt the agenda as published? Motion by Vice Chair. Is there a second? Second by Member Vanos. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. And now it's time to start the part of our meeting that reminds us all of why we serve this board. And this is when we have a chance to celebrate among our staff, students, and community members some of the most excellent people that work here every day. And so I'd like to first call on Superintendent Vasquez to start us off with the first recognition.
Thank you. I am so excited to be able to honor Master Principal Melanie Simmons. So Principal Simmons, would you mind coming up? Principal Simmons has dedicated 28 years to education, all of them right here in our district, starting her career as a teacher at Catalina Elementary. 2 years ago, she was a Principal of the Year finalist for our annual Stellar Awards, which recognizes outstanding employees. Melanie officially became a Master Principal in July of 2024. You ask, what is a Master Principal? A Master Principal is a principal that oversees 2 schools. Melanie oversees both Rock Lake Elementary and Molly Ray Elementary. At that point, she had already led the Rock Lake Beavers from a letter grade of D to an A grade. Rock Lake's A grade rating now stands in its 3rd year under her leadership. In her year as Master Principal, she's delivered historic results for both campuses, lifting the Molly Ray Lions to an impressive A rating for the 24-25 school year. The same year, Rock Lake earned a School of Excellence designation from the Florida Department of Education. Let me just share with you what an incredible feat that is and what an incredible recognition. It is the only traditional OCPS Title I school to have received that recognition. And among the state of Florida, there are only a handful of Title I schools that have achieved that recognition. And let me tell you why, because it's so hard to achieve that rating. This honor is for schools that earn at least 80% of the possible points for the school grade calculation. This is the first time the Beavers have earned this prestigious honor. Principal Simmons leads with the resilience born of personal challenge, using her strength to drive student success. She often says she knows her schools are thriving when my teachers are giddy with delight after a new strategy works, or when students get off the bus with no complaints. That focus on operational excellence and finding joy in instruction is her catalyst for transformation. Her background, including service as a captain in the U.S. Army Reserve, speaks to her character and systemic thinking. Melanie, I commend you for this unprecedented success. You have created environments where every student is supported, challenged, and expected to thrive. Achieving A ratings for 2 schools and securing the School of Excellence designation for Rock Lake, all within your first months as Master Principal. This is truly inspirational. Thank you for your 28 years of dedication to our children and for helping set a high bar for leadership in our district. We are so thankful to you and for the incredible team and the families that are here to support all of our children so that they can have tremendous pathways to success. Thank you. Hey guys. Picture. Guys.
Oh. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Big smile, hold on, one more. Can you support team want to run up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
come on up.
Come
Y'all
on.
come on up. Come on up.
If you're here, your family.
Yeah.
Well, I need to go down there. That's my school.
Yeah, get down there.
Somebody be down there to take it.
No, I don't.
A little lopsided here. Oh, that's not. Let him do his
Where's Wood? Yeah, you better come down here. That's why I told you.
What's up? What's up?
No pushing, kids. No pushing whatsoever. I'm waiting for my assistant.
Oh.
You go first.
maybe that's next for you.
Well, you never know. Times are interesting.
Look right here, my assistant. Big smile again. She's so good. She's quiet. Big smile, look happy. Look happy again. One more. Stay there. Awesome. Thank you.
Can I stay here or do I have to go with it?
No, you can stay here. Frank, I feel bad because I just ruined their photo. Can you Photoshop this or me out of this? Oh my God. Okay, good. I just thought about it at the end that, gosh, this great photo, and here I am, my blue mask. Okay. That was incredible. Dr. Vasquez, thank you so much for sharing that. If that doesn't make you believe, nothing does. That is so amazing. So we we have a couple of other schools that our master principal could take on. And I don't know, is there a limit to how many? It's 2? I heard you say 2. I'm thinking 2 or more. 2. Okay. We also are celebrating some other excellent employees. Each board member may spotlight up to 2 employees to recognize during their designated meeting of each school year. So tonight is member Douglas's opportunity to come down to the podium and share with us about her honorees, unless you'd prefer to sit here,
Yes, I
and
will
you're
stay
welcome
right
to.
here. Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Chair.
Oh, I am so sorry. I apologize. Member Felder had something.
Yes, I'm
to
sorry.
say.
Thank you so much. I wanted to say this about Principal Melanie Simmons. When I first met her, when I was on the board and I got elected, there was a tragedy that hit her family with her son. And I remember going out to Rock Lake and talking to her, and I was, I said, I don't know how you're able to do this. She says, well, really, this keeps my mind off of it. She lost her son during the height of the COVID. And I said, well, you can take time. She says, no, I just need to do this. And then as I began to track her accomplishments as a principal with the school, I said, the resilience of this woman, I couldn't fathom it. And then when it was discussed that there's a possibility that they're going to allow her to have not only Rock Lake, but Molly Ray, because she had moved, she moved Rock Lake. And I said, are you going to be able to do it? I said, because if you can't, she says, no, I can do it. And then to see that both schools are A's, sometimes we have to understand that our resilience as we live through tragedy is beyond our ability to push. There's a stronger force, I call him God, that propels us to do what appears to be the impossible. And I need to say this to you publicly, Melanie, my sorority sister, and my friend, that what you've done has just beyond remarkable. And I appreciate the leadership that we have in Dr. Maria Vasquez, and this board, to recognize the hard work and resilience of the people in Orange County Public School District to go beyond what I may say is Veteran Day, the call of duty. I want to thank you so much, and your husband standing by you, and your colleagues and the people that work at your school. I want to let you know that we appreciate your work, and God is always going to reward us for our services. And you never despise small beginnings. Those were small schools, because the scripture says in the latter end, it will advance, it will do well. So thank you for your service to our children. Thank you.
Member Felder, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Yeah. Okay.
So
Back to you, Member Douglas.
now, I thank you, Chair Jacobs. I I just want to say thank you so much for your service and for all that you've done. I was at Molly Ray as a teacher, and thank you for the great things that you have done for our kids. And please continue to do great things. And just like you said, God will bless as you go. Thank you so much. Tonight, I'm happy to shine a spotlight on two staff members from Olympia High School. That was my school. First, I would like to recognize an amazing teacher who does incredible things both here and around the world. AP Environmental Science teacher Gloria Boisvert. Ms. Boisvert, please come forward to be recognized. Ms. Boisvert has been an excellent teacher in our district for 13 years. She received a great honor this year. She was the only teacher from the state of Florida chosen to be part of the prestigious Fulbright Teachers for Global Classrooms program. This award from the U.S. Department of State enabled Ms. Boisvert to visit Peru this summer to learn and share ideas. I know she brought back wonderful lessons to her students at Olympia High School. But Ms. Boisvert also gave us so much right here at our school. Using her own time, she completely redesigned 3 planning rooms for our teachers as her gift to the staff. As a gift to the staff. Her creativity is wonderful. She decorated these rooms with great care and intention, making the 3 beautiful Zen rooms. These rooms give our teacher a place to feel calm and rested. And I was there, and I felt that way. Okay. They helped our staff work together, think clearly, and feel better. By making these spaces, Ms. Boisvert has made a lasting positive change to Olympia High School. I know we all feel the love and dedication she has for her profession. Wonderful. Ms. Boisvert, thank you for bringing the world to our students, your excellent teaching, and for your selfless way of uplifting the Olympia High community. I am so honored to recognize you tonight. And I'm telling you, when you go into Ms. Boisvert's classroom, she is totally dedicated to her students. She will go from one student to another to a student and take the time to explain and to reiterate and to teach and to listen to the student, the needs. It's just unbelievable to see it when you get into the room. So I just want to honor you and thank you so much for your service to our community. Thank you. I will join you for
I don't think we're gonna get it again. No, just. It's a mine. Don't know.
Hold on, we're gonna use this one for the mask to add to the other photo, but you heard me say that?
Yes. That's so funny.
Right, I know.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, Crystal. Okay, Frank. Frank, make it quick. There's only so long I can hold my breath.
Don't exhale.
Don't listen.
Big smile again. And remask.
Say we
She's also a veteran.
So many veterans here.
Oh, wow. Wow.
He said I hired her first. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, let's do that. Vice Chair just had, before everybody leaves, could we get any veterans in the room to stand up so we can personally recognize you?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you, Vice Chair. Wow.
Next,
Okay.
I am so happy to recognize someone who makes a huge difference every day at Olympia High School. Our custodian, Edwina Forbes. Ms. Forbes, please come forward to be recognized. Ms. Forbes has worked for our district for 14 years. As an evening custodian, she has an essential job. Every night, she ensures that when students and staff arrive, their classrooms are spotless, and I can attest to that. Organized and perfectly ready for the next morning's lessons. Ms. Forbes knows that a clean, prepared environment helps students focus. Her high standards create a welcoming space where students and teachers feel comfortable and supported. They see the care and effort she puts into the building every night. But Ms. Ford does more than maintain our building. She's a wonderful listener. I could complain sometime and talk about things. Anyway, she's a wonderful listener who offers thoughtful advice to those who seek it. She's also always ready to provide anything needed for the classroom. I know she's a big part of the positive atmosphere that makes Olympia High a great place to be. So, Ms. Forbes, on behalf of the whole school board, thank you for your reliable service and your commitment to our students and staff. Your dedication ensures every day starts successfully. I am so honored to recognize you tonight for your deep pride in your work and for being such a valued part of the Titan family. Thank you so much. I will join you for a picture.
I know, I was wondering the same. Who gave you
Hey,
that cookie?
Alicia, where'd the cookie come from?
I know, Nancy.
Where's the countdown?
Shows.
1, 2, 3. Demask, smile, remask. You guys gonna hop up real quick?
No, I think I left it in the room, and so she's
Special treatment.
I know, no,
wait
that's
till
what I
I
was
get
saying.
Nancy.
That's what I was saying.
Actually, it's Bridget. Bridget should make sure we all get it.
Go ahead.
It always comes down to Bridget.
The hair or the earrings. Good, big smile. One more. Back up. You got it. Yeah, good, thank you.
All right, here we go.
Look at the cookie.
Member Douglas, Superintendent, thank you so much for sharing those wonderful people and wonderful stories.
Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Vasquez, do we have any newly appointed administrators to recognize tonight?
We do not, but I do want to make an introduction.
Please.
As the board is well aware, we have been dealing with the issue of declining enrollment. We've been dealing with legislation that now allows co-location. I'll speak a little bit more about that during my remarks. And we have several departments that have been addressing or trying to work on addressing the issue of under-enrollment, from our marketing team that's working to help our schools better tell their story, our pupil enrollment that has looked at rezonings, to our facilities department that's looking to see, how can we maximize all of the space that we have. And so in order to bring everyone so that we have a more strategic approach, I have tasked Mr. Ben Allen. Ben, would you come up front for just a minute so I could recognize you? So Ben is part of the strategic office. He is actually the senior director in the strategy office, and we have given him a great opportunity to expand the scope of his impact in our district. And he will be helping us with efforts along the line of place-based learning. As you know, we are doing that out in Orange Center, and we are looking to expand both in the Apopka and in the Inglewood area. We are also looking at micro school partnerships, supporting creation of magnet programs, and designing strategies for space utilization that will support our strategic plan. And Ben, I just want to say thank you for taking on the challenge. We look forward to your helping us be more strategic as how we address the issue of declining enrollment and the use of our space. So I wanted to make everyone aware of how excited we are that you're taking this on.
Thank you. And before we move on, the superintendent, this woman is amazing. She doesn't just get all the best people on the bus, but she makes sure they're all sitting in the right seat. And Ben's such a great example of that. I'm trying to think, it was like a year or so ago that I met him, and I was just blown away. He's mild-mannered, very quiet, but you ask him something, and you're just going to be blown away by how much he knows, what a deep thinker he is, how strategic he is. I'm just like, yeah, I've been in awe of him from the very moment I met him. And so when I heard of your decision, I'm like, man, another great decision. So anyway, it's about you, Ben, but it's also about this woman here because she is really phenomenal. Thank you again. Great job. All right, we're going to move on then. This is the point in time. We're going to hear from our students in a minute, but this is the opportunity. Those of you who have come here for celebrations, you're free to leave if you want. You're free to stay if you want. We'll be here for a little while, but this is your exit opportunity. So I'm sure you guys want to do some celebrating.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's right there in blue. Christy Goldberg. Yes, there is it.
All right, Dr. Vasquez, we're really excited to hear from your Student Advisory Council members today.
So one of the things that I enjoy the most as part of the work as superintendent is really hearing from our various stakeholders, our teachers, our support staff, our families, our administrators, and our students. And it has really been a true joy to be able to not only have the advisory groups that I have, but that we've expanded into student town halls. Our principals are at the high school level are taking on the task of meeting with the students and gathering feedback, as I've now dipped down into the middle school. But what I have found is that our students are not only very bright, but they have so many great insights. And when you think of everything that's going on in our world right now, and times it appears like, where is that silver lining? Where is that shining star? I can tell you that the shining stars are in our classrooms. And so it is my honor to ask both Ashay Nasheen and Molly Hampton from Innovation High School to be able to share with you some of the incredible work that is happening at Innovation High School as it relates to the student environment, the engagement. You're going to be very impressed by these two individuals. So take it away.
So,
Can we raise that mic up a little?
is that better? Yes, okay.
Much better, thank you.
Good afternoon, OCPS board members and Superintendent Dr. Vasquez. My name is Ashay Nasheen, Senior and Student Body President at Innovation High School.
And I'm Molly Hampton, also a senior and student body historian of Innovation High School. Before we begin, we'd like to give our highest gratitude to Mr. Davis, Mr. Morsher, Ms. Morero, and the other members of Superintendent Student Advisory Council, Ella and Derek. We'd also like to thank you, OCPS board members, for this opportunity and for all of the incredible programs you've established across our district. At Innovation, our culture is defined by success. From our girls and boys soccer teams being district champions, our girls volleyball team reaching state semifinals last year, to our 8-2 football team achieving this record in just 1 year, and being bowl eligible for the second year. Excellence is embedded in who we are. Even our academic talent shines among other schools, with 4 PSAT, NMS, QT nationally recognized semifinalists and 7 commended students.
Our Performing and Visual Arts department have also made tremendous strides, producing award-winning performances, showcasing artwork at the Orlando Museum of Art, presenting other artworks at the Ronald Blocker Educational Learning Center where we are right now, and students selected for the All-State Ensembles from our orchestra, setting us apart in only our second year as a school. And let's not forget the unique programs established at our school, including our one-of-a-kind medical assisting program in partnership with Advent Health and our Coast Guard JROTC programs. But our success goes far beyond trophies and medals. It's about the ideals we've built and live by. At Innovation, we empower students to embody excellence through perseverance, pride, and unity. These values are transformed beyond our school walls. They're seen throughout our community, where we work with other schools and organizations in the greater Lake Nona area. Whether it's the support to the staff through initiatives such as the Teacher Superlatives or our weekly Heard Member of the Week award, we've cultivated a strong sense of connection, inclusion, and something we proudly refer to as the Bull culture.
You can see our Bull spirit everywhere, whether it's our horns up chant echoing through the halls, the energy of our pep rallies, or the roar of our football games. Our school spirit is unmatched. Moreover, our dedicated, focused connection with various student groups showcases our school's inclusivity. As you can see, some of the aspects of our school that we've mentioned are our way of life. Our school-wide events, pep rallies, football games, ICC, Crimson Council, and planning committees. Let's take a deeper look at how all of these factors are embedded in our school.
This year, we've passed out 1,500 crimson, black, and white cowbells to fill the stands with sound and unity. And at our most recent game, we handed out custom Innovation Rally towels so every student could wave their pride for all to see. Not only that, but it's also essential to highlight how every student at Innovation knows the phrase, horns up. It's our slogan in the morning announcement, school news station, and every single Instagram post. Our spirit is visible not just at school, but also online, like in our homecoming photo, where we had nearly 1,000 students raise their horns together. The best way to put it is, the colors are our unity, the slogan is our voice, and the bull is our identity.
That same connection shines in our Trunk or Treat event, one of the biggest community events ever hosted. With help from our orchestra, athletic teams, and over 25 clubs, we transformed our campus into a fun, welcoming space for families across Lake Nona. Students decorated cards, interacted with community members, and students from our local feeder schools created interactive booths that brought hundreds of people together. A true celebration of school and community.
Events like these are possible through collaboration. Our Interclub Council, ICC, connects every club through monthly meetings, where we discuss upcoming events, and Mr. Davis's Crimson Council ensures that every student's voices are heard through his initiative in holding student meetings. The Multicultural Night Planning Committee is an extended example of this, which unites students, teachers, and administrators, making large-scale events like these possible. Additionally, through the creative initiative of Connectivity Day, we were able to further club collaboration, student connection through giving students the opportunity to attend club activities throughout the day.
However, let's shift our focus towards the future of our Bulls culture. Our school is one of the most unique schools in Orange County Public Schools through our outstanding academics and record-breaking achievements. More than anything, we want the forthcoming generations to remember our struggles and our successes.
To strengthen our connection even further, we're launching a creative initiative called Senior Towels. Designed for our first graduating class, this project symbolizes how students from different schools come together under one Bull identity. Our plan involves coordinating with the arts department to design layouts, working with senior class officers and sponsors to manage materials and funding, and scheduling tile decorating sessions where seniors can personalize their piece on the wall. Each tile will feature crimson and black designs unified under a central theme chosen by the class. Once complete, the tiles will be permanently displayed in the main hallway as a visual legacy of our class's journey and the spirit of Innovation High School.
With this event, we can fully exemplify the pinnacles of our spirit, connection, and engagement. Dr. Vasquez and board members, what we have presented today goes beyond trophies and test scores. It is the story of a culture built on excellence, pride, and unity. From our record-breaking sports teams and award-winning artists to the incredible collaboration seen in our ICC and Trunk or Treat, Innovation High School has defined its identity.
By launching the Senior Tiles Initiative, we are not just commemorating our first graduating class, we are physically cementing this unmatched spirit into the very foundation of our school. We're ensuring that the unique, connected, and driven culture of the Bulls lives on as a permanent legacy for every future generation. Thank you, and horns up. And we have a little gift for you guys too. If you could see, we have our little cowbells. So you want to ring our little cowbells? Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Great job. Great job.
Excellent. Thank you all. All right. Member Salamanca, you recognized. Thank you. No, thank you.
Thank you so much, Chair. Thank you, Superintendent, for bringing this awesome group together, although I'm biased as the representative of Innovation High School. It's so great to have you all. And I got to say, what this group of students have done in terms of, it's a brand new high school. It is so hard to get everything up and running. And Mrs. Morero, the work you do and the soul you really pour into your students and thinking about what does SGA represent from the ground up and what kind of student is going to bring out and build a culture and bring out the best out of all students and making them feel connected to that school spirit. I think you all have gone above and beyond. Every time I visit, Ashe, you are the hype man. I mean, you represent so much of that spirit of what the Bulls are, and just the entire SGA, and obviously Principal Davis for encouraging the students to feel that sense of ownership in that culture of starting a new school, and they're just so excited in all the initiatives. And one of the hard things that happens over time with SGA is, and I was really involved in SGA, is you start to have only some students be involved with SGA and a certain type of folks who want to think of what SGA looks like and all these traditions, and the student body starts getting kind of lost or feel separated from SGA, or like their voices are not heard. And I can say one of the superpowers that you all have from day one has been in how do we include the voices of all of the students of Innovation High School, so that experience of what it is to be an SGA student isn't just one-dimensional. And you all represent that proudly every day, and you exhibit it. And I am hopeful for the future classes of SGA following your legacy and the work you've done, because you've really gone above and beyond for a brand new school. So thank you all for that, and we see you and appreciate you.
Wow. Member Salamanca, that was like really insightful, and not just for Innovation High, but I mean what you said. If every school kind of recognized that, because I've always sensed that it's them and then there's everyone, and that idea of bringing everybody in is really what it should be about. So anyway, I just thought it was profound for her to encapsulate that. But you guys are the ones that need to run with that and figure out how do we duplicate? What do we need to do so that we can duplicate this, not just for future students in your school, but throughout the district? So that's a big part of being on the Superintendent's Advisory Council. It's about you tell us how we can do better, okay? So I know you know that, but new task. Superintendent, you're recognized.
So one of the things that I truly am so impressed with is the relationship that you see between the teachers, the support staff, and the students. It is truly a special place. And I say that because you've only been in existence for 2 years. And so to see that mutual respect, to see where the students know that there is someone there that they can go to see how the teachers really work to tap the diversity and the talents that are there, and how there's no idea that's a bad idea. And so I just kudos to Mr. Davis, because you started creating this culture, to the students at Innovation, because you have taken on that work of inclusivity, of making sure that your school is a special place. And of course, to the staff at the school, that without them, we would not have the great accolades. And as you said, it's not just about the test scores. It's so much more than that. And really, if we focused on the culture, everything else takes care of itself. So thank you again. I am just so impressed with what Innovation High School has been able to achieve in such a short time of existence.
Thank you, Superintendent. Thank you. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I've told the superintendent this before, but for me as mayor, my number one priority for the organization was to change the culture. And I came here and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's 200 cultures. I was like, that doesn't really work. Every school can have its own culture, but it really does start with the principal and the leadership that comes, and that spirit that comes from a principal that either opens everything up or shuts everything down. And so Principal Davis, just congratulations. And we would like to also clone you while we're at it. So whatever you can do to help make sure that other principals around you understand the value and hopefully the great reward. I just got to think that one of the best jobs in the world is to be a high school principal. Because whenever I'm at a graduation, I'm like, these folks are just revered, and it is so cool just to see how much the kids can just come alive. My own son, one of my sons, like, you're supposed to be excited when you graduate. He was devastated. He was like, I don't want to graduate. I love this. And he had a great principal as well. So anyway, thank you so much. What a good day. What a great celebration. Member Salamanca, are you back up? Okay. All right. Yes. Photo, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Oh, there you go.
There you go. Take
Yeah, okay. Look at her. Oh, the prima donna with the special.
I know.
Hold on, not yet. The ring. Good. Stay there. Hold on, and let's demask.
Thank you.
Look happy, and let's ring the bell. I know it's a new horns up by law.
Horns up. Wait, how do you do it? Is this it?
No, that's.
Oh, no, wait, that's not the wrong one. Sorry. Horns up.
Hold on.
Have I got it right?
That's legal?
Yeah. Do it this way or that way? Okay.
One more. No horns over everybody's head.
Oh, great idea.
Good hand.
Great job, you guys. That was terrific. Hey, keep a hold of this and you can use that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. They say culture eats strategy for breakfast. This eats this for breakfast.
100%.
Okay. All right, at this time, I would like to acknowledge Clinton McCracken, President of the Orange County Classroom Teachers Association, to provide some remarks to the board. Welcome, Mr. McCracken.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Good evening, Chair Jacobs, members of the board, and Superintendent Vasquez. More than 100 years ago, American Education Week was created to honor life-changing power of our public schools and to remind the public of our shared responsibility to protect them. That mission is more urgent than ever. As a teacher in Orange County for 25 years, I've seen what public education makes possible. I know it personally because, for me, it was my ticket out of poverty. I've seen students come to school hungry and leave nurtured. I've seen teachers stay long after the final bell, helping kids believe in themselves, just like my teachers did for me. And I've seen public education remain the greatest promise of opportunity for every child, no matter their zip code or family income. That's why next week we're inviting teachers and the entire community to join us for a week of action to celebrate and advocate for our public schools. Monday is I Love Public Ed Day. Wear your school colors, share why your neighborhood school matters, and show your pride. Tuesday is Neighborhood School Showcase. Share what makes your school special at tinyurl.com/publicedproudpadlet. Wednesday, we have a social at Ollie's in College Park for our teachers to connect and celebrate together. Thursday is Wear Red for Public Ed, and Friday is Speak Up for Public Schools. Contact your lawmakers at tinyurl.com/speakupOCPS25 and ask them to prioritize public ed this legislative session. Even as we celebrate, though, we must be honest, public schools are being asked to do more with less. At our recent legislative delegation meeting, I shared a few common sense steps that would strengthen public education in Orange County and across the state. First, fund our future. Florida ranks 50th in the nation in average teacher pay. An additional $1,000 per student would move us into the top 10, where our kids and our educators belong. Second, use some local tourist tax dollars to support local students, since of course we're all impacted by tourism in Central Florida. A small portion could help cover transportation and safety costs in OCPS, freeing up money to pay our teachers fairly. And third, retain experienced teachers. Let districts offer extended contracts to proven teachers and restore local control over salary schedules to fix compression and reward experience. So next week, we ask everyone not just to celebrate, but to act, advocate, and demand better. And I invite each of you on the board to join us and share what makes schools in your district so special. Because our schools are more than buildings, they're safe havens, places of belonging, and they lift our students up just as they did for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Very good. Okay, next, I'd like to invite Ron Pollard, President of the Orange Education Support Professional Association. And he waves and yields his time. Wonderful to have you with us as always. And next, I want to acknowledge, oh boy, Karina, help me out. Chanu, thank you. President-elect of the Orange County Association of School Administrators, OCASA. Welcome. All right, help me with the first name as well.
Karina Chanu.
Thank you.
So good evening, Chair Jacobs, school board members, Superintendent Vasquez, and Cabinet. I am Karina Chanu, President-elect for the Orange County Association of School Administrators. And tonight, as we embark on the season of Thanksgiving, I am here with a message of thanks from the over 400 members of OCASA. We are first thankful for the 239 advocates who joined us for the Walk for Freedom Central Florida last weekend, and Member Gallo for her dedication to the cause. We are especially thankful to our heroine of a leader, Dr. Vasquez, who has never forgotten what it's like to be a school administrator. We know how unique and how valuable someone like you is to a district like ours. We are thankful for the upcoming opportunity to work with Mr. Martinez in his new role as Deputy Superintendent. And on this Veterans Day, we extend special gratitude to the men and women who have served in the United States Armed Forces. We'd like to recognize members of OCASA who are United States veterans. Mr. Richard Sheeran, the United States Marine Corps, Mr. Damian Rosado, the United States Navy, and here tonight, Mr. Alex Heidelberg, who currently serves in the United States Army Reserves. We are so thankful for your selfless sacrifice and protection of our country. On behalf of all of OCASA, we would also like to take a moment of thanks to Matthew Turner, Thank you for showing us and our organization that we can have strength in numbers and that we do have a voice in the educational landscape. We are thankful for the many years that we have been able to call you our colleague and, more importantly, our friend. We wish you all the best in your new role, and we look forward to seeing you accomplish so many great things in your bright, bright future. And finally, we would like to extend our most heartfelt thanks to our fearless leader, the Dark Knight himself, Dr. Armbruster. You have been an advocate for school administrators from your early days in the Justice League to being president of OCASA and then becoming our executive director. You have always stood by us. When you came back as deputy superintendent, you made sure you knew what it was like on our campuses because you were there. You met our people and you made them important to you as well. Our OCASA members here tonight, if you can please stand with me now. Although many of our members are back on campuses tonight with SAC meetings, games, and other events, our members who could came tonight as a unified symbol of thanks and gratitude for everything you have done for our organization and for the students and faculty of Orange County Public Schools. We are here together tonight to thank you and recognize you as the OCASA Deputy Superintendent of the Year. Thank you for being our Dark Knight. If it pleases the chair, we do have a small token for Dr. Armbruster.
Absolutely,
Can we
yes.
present it to him?
Please.
Okay.
There's only one nominee.
We'd like to present you this plaque for all your support for OCASA for decades.
You're so funny. Y'all come up. Don't be shy now. She's like, that's too funny.
Look at this.
Look at that.
Yes.
Y'all dressed in black like it's a funeral.
It's a celebration.
It's for that.
How will you be in the reserve?
Okay, then on 3, I'll do a slow 3. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8.
Oh, is it a baby? Oh,
No, she's fine. 3, 1, 2, 3. Hold on, one more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Here.
Thank you. All right, that was awesome. What a nice surprise.
It was.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. How fun.
This one I'll keep.
All right. We are on celebrations and observations. I just want to announce that the 2025-26 proclamations were adopted by vote of the board during the August 12, 2025 board meeting as designations of celebrations and observations. The list will remain on the agenda for the entire school year. And next is our strategic plan update. Dr. Vasquez, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I am thrilled that Jennifer Fowler is going to have the opportunity to share with all of us an update and progress on our sustainability plan. As you know, Jennifer has been at this for quite a while, and under her leadership, not only have we been able to reap savings, but more importantly, we have been able to integrate sustainability practices throughout our district. And I say this from the bottom of my heart. Without your passion, we would not be where we are today. So truly am thankful and looking forward to the presentation.
Thank you. And I'm going to see if I can switch it over. Okay. Good afternoon. Thank you for this opportunity to provide an update on the Sustainability Plan 2030. The Sustainability Plan 2030 was published in 2022 following stakeholder engagement, which included expert advisory councils from students, OCPS staff, the community, and district family surveys. The results of our stakeholder engagement concluded that these 5 targets were the most important areas of opportunity to focus on in the plan. The Sustainability Plan also aligns with the OCPS strategic plan objectives. Additionally, the plan has allowed for flexibility in the measures of success. This flexibility enables the district to explore new approaches and redefine success based on emerging opportunities or lessons learned. Waste reduction seeks to reduce overall waste production and diverted created waste away from the landfill through recycling programs, reduction education, and composting efforts. There are 2 primary key performance indicators guiding our waste reduction efforts. The first is focused on diverting the total waste stream away from landfills. This initiative not only maximizes the efficient use of district funds, but also significantly reduces the environmental impact of our operations. In fiscal year 2025, OCPS successfully diverted 25 million pounds of materials, achieving a 34.4% diversion rate from the landfill. While this is a slight decrease of 2.5% from fiscal year 24, currently the district is at 35.8%. Some of the key initiatives include enhanced training and support for custodial staff, equipping them with the knowledge and tools to improve waste sorting and recycling, distribution of recycling supplies to schools, ensuring every site has the resources needed to participate effectively. Expanded marketing and awareness campaigns to highlight the financial and environmental benefits of recycling across the district, and reinvestment of recycling rebates directly back into our schools and staff through initiatives like the Sustainability Champion Awards. This cash prize recognizes both instructional and non-instructional staff who go above and beyond in fostering a culture of sustainability. Nominations are peer or supervisor-driven, reinforcing community engagement and recognition. Looking ahead, the sustainability team is focused on recalculating student enrollment relative to waste generation to optimize service levels and reduce unnecessary pickups, and conducting periodic monitoring of trash and recycling dumpsters to identify opportunities for additional training and collaboration with schools. The final objective in our waste reduction strategy focuses on decreasing food waste through composting, food donation, and share tables. In June, OCPS successfully completed a 2-year USDA grant aimed at reducing food waste. Over 570,000 pounds of food waste were diverted from landfills. This achievement was made by just 21 participating schools, surpassing the original program goals. The success of the composting initiative has now transitioned into a district-wide program. The original 21 schools are already exceeding last year's participation levels, demonstrating strong engagement and momentum. Water conservation seeks to conserve water usage through various techniques, including water audits, leak assessments, and limiting usage during extended breaks. Our water conservation strategy focuses on 2 key areas: reducing indoor water consumption and minimizing irrigation usage. While our performance is measured in gallons per square foot, it is important to note that water usage is closely tied to building occupancy. Last school year, the Sustainability Office partnered with local utility providers to identify leaks early through advanced meter alert systems and gain access to irrigation monitoring software, allowing for faster detection of excessive water use and leaks. These partnerships have significantly improved our ability to respond to water inefficiencies across the district. This is evident by the absence of any increase in potable water usage in fiscal year 2024, despite the opening of new schools, along with a 10% reduction in irrigation usage over the past 3 fiscal years. Health and wellness seeks to improve the overall health and wellness of our population through increased education, sustainable food options, enhanced air quality, and improved physical, social, and mental community health. Our health and wellness KPIs are centered on supporting student well-being through indoor environmental health, access to healthy foods, building student resiliency, and school gardens. School gardens are powerful tools for experiential learning, allowing students to engage in subjects like science, math, health, and environmental studies in hands-on outdoor setting. The Sustainability Office tracks and verifies garden implementation across the district. The current metric reflects a percentage of schools with active verified gardens. In collaboration with the Grounds Department, a school garden guide was published last school year to support schools in garden planning, implementation, and maintenance. This guide also centralizes resources for easier access and support. Curriculum resources were developed to help teachers integrate garden-based learning into their instruction, and physical supplies were provided through generous donations from Home Depot and a district-wide garden supply drive. The Sustainability Office is working with the Facilities Division to update design guidelines, ensuring that garden spaces are considered during renovations and new school construction. As buildings and equipment age, they become less efficient and can negatively impact indoor air quality. This is especially important in learning environments where air quality affects student health, focus, and attendance. Upgrading and retrofitting older buildings is a proven strategy to improve indoor air quality, aligning the district goals, health, safety, and sustainability. Sustainable dining options support Florida and the U.S. agriculture by reducing food miles and ensuring fresher produce for students. Currently, 91% of all food served to students is sourced from American growers, 15% is sourced locally, and 70 to 85% of FNS's produce offerings are in season. For example, items like broccoli, collards, sweet potatoes, cucumbers, green beans, and citrus are all in-season Florida produce and were featured on their October menu for students. Target 2 includes a 10% increase in plant-based dining options from 2024. Plant-based entrees emphasize foods from plants, vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains, nuts, seeds, and exclude meat, poultry, and seafood. Currently, plant-based entrees account for 10 to 12% of menu offerings across all grade levels. Since 2024, OCPS FNS increased vegetarian offerings by 10% and vegan entree offerings by 4 to 5%. All schools have maintained 100% plant-forward meals, with every entree served alongside fruits and vegetables. As part of the district's commitment to student wellness and resiliency, OCPS continues to prioritize mental health education through the state-approved Youth Mental Health First Aid Program. YMHFA is a nationally recognized training that equips participants with the skills to recognize the unique risk factors and warning signs of mental health challenges in adolescents, understand the importance of early intervention, provide appropriate support to students experiencing mental health crisis or concern. As of now, 17,365 OCPS personnel have completed the YMHFA training. This represents an 81.61% of the 21,278 personnel required by the state to complete youth mental health awareness training. The state mandates 80% completion, meaning OCPS has exceeded the requirement in both fiscal years 2025 and in 2024. Energy conservation and renewable energy seeks to decrease current energy usage and carbon emissions, employ renewable energy practices, and increase energy conservation awareness. Energy use intensity is a key metric used to evaluate a building's energy performance. It measures the amount of energy consumed per square foot per year. Understanding the managing UUI is essential for improving operational efficiencies and reducing utility costs across the district. The district is actively managing building usage to reduce EUI through the following strategies: operating hours, adjusting schedules to minimize unnecessary energy use during off hours, occupancy levels, monitoring how many people use a space and when to better align energy use and with actual demand, space utilization, ensuring that spaces are used efficiently to avoid energy waste in underutilized areas, efficient space planning, designing and organizing buildings to optimize energy performance across classrooms, offices, and shared spaces, and equipment and technology, upgrading to energy efficient systems and automation technologies that reduce consumption and improve building responsiveness. These long-term initiatives align with the district's broader sustainability goals, ensuring responsible and effective use of energy resources. Carbon dioxide is the most significant greenhouse gas released through human activities that contributes to the changing climate. Carbon emissions are categorized into 3 scopes. Scope 1, direct emissions from sources owned or controlled by the organization, such as fuel used in district vehicles, boilers, and furnaces. Scope 2, indirect emissions from the energy the district purchases, like electricity, heating, and cooling. These emissions occur off-site but are counted because they result from our energy use. And Scope 3, emissions from sources not owned or directly controlled by the district, such as those from suppliers or commuting. At OCPS, our efforts to reduce environmental impact are focused on Scope 1 and Scope 2 emissions, where we have the most control and can make the greatest difference. This is further evidenced by the reduction in overall Scope 1 and 2 emissions by 7% from fiscal year 2024. The Clean Energy Connection program allows Duke Energy customers to subscribe to solar energy without installing panels on their property. It's designed to make clean energy more accessible, affordable for residential and commercial customers. Key features of the program include subscription-based solar, where customers subscribe to a portion of the solar energy generated by Duke's Energy solar facilities, monthly bill credits. OCPS receives monthly credits on their electricity bill based on the amount of solar energy our share produces. No installation required, no rooftop panels or equipment is needed. And flexible participation. Customers can choose how much solar energy they want to subscribe to with the options to adjust or cancel at any time. OCPS joined the CEC program in 2022 with 104 schools that are powered by 100% renewable energy source. OCPS is committed to designing and renovating schools that prioritize environmental sustainability, health, and resilience. One example of this commitment is achieving the 3 Green Globe certification, a high-performance rating that reflects buildings earning 70 to 84% of applicable points in the Green Globe's assessment. This certification demonstrates the sustainability is fully integrated into building design and operations. Key strategies include investing in proven technologies that reduce long-term costs and environmental impact in both new construction and renovations, and optimize HVAC systems by evaluating energy consumption and implementing efficient solutions that improve indoor air quality and reduce emissions. Transportation seeks to improve current and future transportation options to offset their carbon footprint via the implementation of electric vehicles and school buses, EV chargers, decreased fuel usage, and increased education and awareness. OCPS is proud to produce electric school buses into our transportation fleet, with electric vehicles now making up 5% of the total fleet. This milestone was made possible through the grant funding awarded by the Florida Department of Environmental Protection and the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. The initial 6 school buses were selected as a pilot prior to applying for the U.S. EPA grant. Electric school buses offer several key benefits. They have lower operating costs due to reduced fuel and maintenance needs, are more energy efficient than traditional diesel buses, and contribute to a quieter, cleaner environment by significantly reducing noise pollution. This initiative supports our commitment to sustainability and student well-being. Currently, transportation and facilities construction are working through the U.S. EPA grant to add 20 additional buses. The school buses have been ordered, and facilities construction is working on the infrastructure at Lake Nona and Hanging Moss bus compounds. Further electric buses will be dependent on grant opportunities and driver hiring. OCPS is launching a pilot program to evaluate the use of electric vehicles within the district's white fleet. Currently, the cost of electric vehicles is comparable to traditional internal combustion engines. This pilot will help determine key factors such as vehicle range and charging infrastructure requirements. It is essential that district vehicles are selected based on their ability to meet operational needs, ensuring that our operations are not forced to adapt to vehicle limitations, particularly in terms of range and reliability. As with electric white fleet, successful implementation of electric vehicles requires thoughtful planning and infrastructure development. Key considerations include vehicle range and usage patterns, which help determine the appropriate type and number of chargers, such as level 2 or DC fast chargers. The district must also assess electrical capacity at facilities to ensure they can support the additional load, which may require upgrades. Site selection and layout are critical to ensure chargers are accessible, safe, and scalable for future growth. Additional smart charging systems can optimize energy use and reduce costs. Infrastructure investments must also account for installation costs, ongoing maintenance, and vendor support to ensure long-term reliability. The sustainability team has reached out to a consultant to begin discussion and assistance to provide a well-developed plan for further consideration. Reducing unnecessary idling is a strategic move that benefits our district in multiple ways. It first minimizes exposure to emissions, it lowers greenhouse gas emissions, and contributes to cleaner air in our communities. Finally, saves fuel, reduces operational costs, and improves engine performance, leading to lower maintenance expenses across our fleet. Implementation and reinforcing anti-idling practices is a simple yet powerful way to protect student health, support sustainability goals, and optimize district resources. Thanks to updated EPA regulations, modern diesel engines are significantly cleaner than in the past, helping reduce harmful emissions and improving air quality. However, maintaining diesel buses remains complex and resource intensive. These engines contain numerous moving parts that require frequent servicing. Routine maintenance includes oil changes, transmission service, fuel system cleaning, and upkeep of emissions control systems. Additionally, diesel fuel costs are higher and more volatile than electricity, contributing to increased long-term operating costs. While the additional reduction of 0.5% from fiscal year 24 is in part due to ongoing driver shortages, the district's commitment to investing in buses plays a role in the overall reduction of fossil fuel consumption. Sustainability education cultivates leadership skills and a sense of responsibility in students and professionals, preparing them to lead sustainability initiatives in their careers and personal lives. As part of the OCPS strategic plan, the KPI for 12th grade students to meet the portrait of a graduate. The district has implemented a strategy to inspire students to improve the environment, reduce district costs, and make a positive social impact in our community. A key measure of success is student participation in sustainability-focused classes and initiatives. These programs equip students with the knowledge and skills to lead eco-conscious efforts both in school and beyond, fostering a generation of graduates who are not only academically prepared, but also committed to environmental stewardship and community well-being. Thanks to a grant from the U.S. Department of Energy, this school year you'll see the Sustainability in Action electric van on the road. This innovative mobile classroom will bring hands-on learning directly to students through in-school field trips and enhanced curriculum support of our educators. With that, I will turn the presentation over to the superintendent for comments and questions.
Thank you, Jennifer. Members of the board, as you can see, we have really made headway in so many of the areas. We still have room for growth, but you see new initiatives. You'll see the expansion into the classroom and really making it part of the mindset of our students. And so we are now ready to take any questions or comments from the board.
All right, wonderful. Member Vanos. I'm sorry, Member Ferrand. I don't know how to.
Thank you, Chair Jacobs. And thank you, Ms. Fowler, for being here. What a wonderful evening listening to what we're doing, how OCPS is really helping our students understand sustainability. I love seeing the composting going out into the schools and seeing the kids understanding what it's about, how they can actually take that initiative and do that at home. So it's not just about what we're doing in the schools, but what they're learning so that they can take it back home with them, which is really fun to see. So that as well. And then the gardens is my other thing that I've been loving. Watching kids get into the dirt and having it in their hands and watching them see the process, it just opens up a different, mindset for them. Things that I think our, grandparents really had, it was like everyday life. We've gotten away from that, and the kids just go to the grocery store, they see it in the grocery store and maybe don't understand how it got there. And for them to actually be able to get into the dirt and see it, and it brings all of that. The teachers really do a really, really great job of kind of doing all-encompassing teaching in the classroom, but also going out into the garden and being able to see that happen there, and the composting and the recycling. Really, really awesome. Fun to see, and thank you for all that you do. My one question that I do have is on the electric buses. So I guess my question is, from what I had understood, it takes a long time for them to charge. And I don't know if that has changed since we originally got the buses when I first got into office, but it does take from what I had been told, it takes a while for them to charge, and they weren't really sustainable for us to continue getting more of them. Has that changed?
I'm going to have Bill Wen come up because he actually has the data of the chart, what we're seeing in that charge time. So I'm going to let him have that comment.
Evening, everyone. The charging stations, we can charge as quickly as 2 hours. However, the charging stations for that will cost a lot more. Currently, we have 60 kilowatt charging stations at our Pine Hills facility. It'll take about 3 to 4 hours to bring them back to 100% to go back out on the road in the afternoon. The challenge is that the range of the buses right now are at about 100 miles per charge from 0 to 100%. Most of our routes are 80 to 100 miles in the morning, 80 to 100 in the afternoon. So in order for the electric buses to really work, that drivers really have to bring them back after their morning runs, plug them in the charge before they go back out again. And we have 3 international buses with a third set of batteries on them, which will give us about 175 to 200 mile range. So those could last the whole day. But when we look at the driver shortage and driver retention, at the end of the day, if we need to make an extra run or an extra trip, then they may not have the charge to do that, to go out to run. So that's one of the challenges we have with electric buses. The 20 that we'll get, I think, will fit in many of the areas where the routes are shorter, and the drivers only want just their morning routes and afternoon routes, and those will fit fine. That's where we're working on now as well. With the infrastructure, we're looking at getting 180 kilowatt charging stations, so we could charge 90 kilowatts for each bus, and we should be able to bring those back up within 2 hours. But the key is the range currently is less than 120 miles for most buses.
Okay, thank you. With that being said, how much would that cost, do you know off the top of your head, to get those 180 kilowatt stations?
Right now we're looking at about, I think they're $90,000 per charging station, and then they would have 2 dispensers. We could charge 2 buses with that. So the charging stations we did at Pine Hills at 60 kilowatts each, and it was about $500,000 to put in.
How much does a regular school bus cost?
The buses we're buying now are averaging about $150,000. The current electric buses that we've just purchased at about $420,000 each. And the grant helps offset the difference, so we're able to purchase those at the same price we would be able to buy a diesel bus.
And while I'm all for sustainability, I do have a lot of hesitations with electric buses because we really do have that driver shortage, and for us to be able to, it looks great on paper, but for it to really work in real time, I'm a little skeptical on that, if it will work, if it is working. And so I definitely want to keep an eye on this, and if that's even really a good use of our funds to purchase electric buses that are going to cost us more. It's not as efficient, and just for us to kind of check off a box that we're doing something sustainable. Preferably, I would rather spend the funds buying the diesel buses that we know are sure. We can get those mechanics to work on them, and we have the ability to use those. They're a little more in the long run, I feel they're more sustainable than the other.
Well, electric buses certainly have their place, and right now we're seeing about a 50% reduction in operational costs and maintenance because we no longer need to do the oil and filter changes, so we save 17 quarts of oil. We don't have to worry about the filters. Same thing with diesel exhaust fluid filters as well, transmission fluid and filters. And there's a cost savings on per mile cost as well, but again, the key is the range that the buses have. I think our best direction will be to look at electrification of the white fleet for the subcompact vehicles, the pickup trucks, where the range of up to 250, 300 miles, and now the cost of a electric vehicle is just about a couple $1,000s more than an internal combustion engine vehicle. So I think that makes sense for us to go to next, and we're looking at that for our next white fleet vehicle purchase for this coming school year.
Great. Would you guys be able to, because I don't know if you know this off the top of your head, but if you'd be able to just inform the board later, how much is, let's say we need a new battery, when do those die out? And I've heard those electric batteries can be really expensive.
Yes.
Just kind of think like, when we're really tight on budget, really wanting to make sure we're being very frugal with what we're doing.
It's 8-year warranty now, so we're year to year 4, I think, with our first set of buses, and then we should be good for the next ones that we'll be receiving. Of the 20, we have 8 already, and the remaining will probably be with us by February of 2026.
Awesome. And you don't know the price of those off the top of your head?
Well, the extra set of batteries for the internationals are running about $60,000 to $80,000 just for the one set of batteries. They were at about 20 with the first group that we bought, so the prices have gone up substantially.
Okay. And it's one battery per bus, or?
Well, there's 2 sets of batteries on a normal bus, and the way to describe it is the giant block of little D-cell batteries all lined up inside the bus underneath between the frame rails. And the International Bus Company is the only one that's offering an extra set, so instead of having 2 sets underneath, there's 3 sets underneath to give the extra range.
Okay. And the 60 to 80,000 is for all of those?
Just the
or?
one additional section.
Got it. Okay. Perfect. I'll probably email you later to get some more info, but
Certainly.
thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you. Member Vanos, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you for this presentation. You know, I think sometimes people think that sustainability work is like a nice to have, not a need to have, but I think you made such a clear and convincing case that it really is a need to have when you look at the environmental benefits and the financial benefits, the community engagement benefits, which we talk about all the time, and also positive recognition for our schools. So you've done a really good job, and I really also appreciate as you evaluate everything, you are using, you know, it's not just what feels good, but sort of like numbers, and you have data to back it up. And I really appreciate you bringing that and making it so clear how these decisions are being made and what's going into each of them. Like Member Ferrant, I also really love seeing the gardens at the schools, and it's such a source of pride for, especially in our elementary schools, such a source of pride for the teachers and the students, and again, a great way to bring the community in, because every school tells me that there's someone from the community that's coming in to help build a garden box or water something, or teach students something. So all around, just so important. Also wanted to, another thing I hear a lot about is from students about having more vegetarian and vegan options in the cafeteria. So love to see that that has been increased this year. And again, also, I'm guessing is probably a cost savings with purchasing less meat. So just so many positive all around. And the last point I just wanted to make was about the grants. And I think you've made a really strong case for how important it is to have things like the Department of Education, both at the state level and at the national level, that fund these grants, because some of these new programs, whether it's the composting program, whether it's the fleet, whether it's the buses, there are things, whether it's solar, some of these things we need sort of that grant money to see and to pilot different options to see what works. And in the long run, they can provide huge cost savings for our district and huge environmental benefits. But sometimes it's that initial cost that is a barrier. And so that is why it is so important that we have these this ability to get grants from again, the national or state government. And so just wanted to point that out and how it's been helpful in creating our great composting program and helping us sort of figure out what works best with our buses as well. So thank you for the presentation, and thank you for the great work that your team is doing.
Member Felder.
Thank you, Chair Jacobs. Ms. Fowler, I'm just so excited about what you're doing with our children, and I get invited every year to one of my schools to have the little spaghetti dinner and the fresh tomatoes they've grown, and you know. As Board Member Vanos said, it's such a proud moment for our children. And I remember when I first, got introduced to sustainability, I was kind of like what Board Member Vanos was saying, like, oh, yeah, it sounds cute and everything. What are they talking about? But as I started coming every year and seeing what you're doing and what the children, what the district is doing, we need this. We do. And I am concerned about the electric buses, and I don't like electric cars. I don't want nothing driving me. I want to drive my own stuff. I'm not with that at all. But I am concerned about the cost of it, but I'm also an environmentalist, a person that knows that we need to do something with this world and take good care of our world. I like the education of it all, how you're starting our children at a young age to be aware of keeping the environment clean, and how you were able to strategically, uniquely involve our portrait of a graduate with what you were doing. I so appreciate that effort. And, money is always such an issue because I wish we could not do so much with the diesel engines, but of course, it does cost a lot of money to have the electric buses, and because we don't have that many, we're dealing kind of hard with our bus drivers, and having bus drivers have to go back and repeat if they don't have enough time to charge the buses. We're going to have a real problem. But I do want to just, in closing, say that I want to commend you, your effort, and how you've involved so many of our schools. They're excited about being green schools and just being healthy. I like how you have tying this all into the portrait of a graduate. I think that was wonderfully, uniquely done. So I want to tell you that I appreciate that, and thank you for your work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Member Felder. Member Douglas.
Okay. Thank you so much. I mean, the gardens, of course, everybody's talking about the gardens. Not only are they a source of pride, but they also allow students to experience hands-on math, science, and reading. It expands the brain in different ways, and I absolutely love that. And sustainability helps students appreciate our earth, and take care of it. All right, and the importance is taking care of what we have, and I think the student grasps that idea that the earth is important and we need to take good care of it. And I really wish that all schools have a garden. I think we need this. First of all, it's relaxing. It's for the kids to have their hands in the dirt. It's just a source of relaxation, and they need that for mental health. And I really wish that we really, all the school get eventually a garden where the student can just let go.
Is our goal.
Thank you so much. Yes, I agree with you. Whatever I can do to help, that's no. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Member Douglas. Member Bird.
Thank you, and thank you, Ms. Fowler. It's great information. I too love all the data that you have. I think I agree with Member Vanos. It's, sometimes people can get caught up in it just being, for looks or, it just sounds good, but it really is doing good. And many of these things are really saving us money as well. And I appreciate so many things. First of all, I was blown away by that we have 104 schools that are powered by 100% renewable energy. That is amazing. Great job. I mean, that is, I'm so glad that we're taking advantage of that program with Duke to be able to use that solar energy without having to necessarily put solar panels everywhere. So I love that. We need to blast that out and let everybody know, because I think we should be really proud of that. You talked about the share tables at the school. We had a conversation at some point here recently when we were talking about, helping our families that are facing food insecurity now, especially. And one of the challenges with the share tables is refrigeration. They can't keep, I think, certain foods out, or they need to have a place to put the food, or it gets thrown out. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Is that something that we are looking at, or is that being talked about at all, about providing a refrigeration area for share table food?
Yes, I'm very lucky that I have the support of my peers here tonight for some of these more specific questions, because I think they are the experts. So I have Mark Watson with Food Nutrition. I think he can provide some details on that.
Thank you.
Good evening. We are looking into getting grants to help out with the share tables. At this moment, we don't have them at every school, but we do have it at some schools. We did purchase some small refrigerators that at the moment are not keeping temperature according to the Department of Health. So we are looking into some more industrial, commercial sized refrigerators for the schools, and we are looking into grants for that.
Do we have, just off the top of your head, do you have like an estimation, a cost estimate for what one of those might cost?
Well, a commercial refrigerator costs about $4,000. It just depends on what size you get. And we can get some probably for like $2,000 a piece. So it just depends on the size and the capacity of what we want to hold it at. Most share tables, it just depends on the school. If you have some of the more needy schools, the share table doesn't get a lot of volume on the share tables, so we don't need a larger refrigerator for those. So it just depends on the schools.
Okay, wonderful. I'm thinking for myself personally, I'd love to try to help out with that. If with discretionary funding, I think that would be a. I'm really concerned about families that need food right now, and so any way that we can save as much of that food, even though I love the composting, I really do. But if we can save as much of the food as we can and give it to families that need it, I'm all for that. So
we are looking into, at this moment, the USDA does not allow food to leave the school and go to families, but we are in touch with the Florida Department of Agriculture to get a waiver for that, so we can start collecting that food and letting the school give it out to the families.
Wonderful. Yay. All right. That's great. That makes my heart happy. Thank you so much for that. The school gardens, I too love it. I'm a big gardener, so I appreciate my time every day with my flowers and plants. So I am a big believer in the whole relaxation part of that. It's good for mental health for sure. Who funds the gardens at the school? Do they get grants? Do most of the schools get grants for that? Does that come out of school internal funds?
It's probably a combination of both. Okay. So the sustainability office has small mini startup opportunities that schools can apply to help them kick off or to clean up a garden. There are also grants through the foundation that they may apply for, and then they may go for their own grants, and then there may be school-based support. So I think it's a combo that you'd probably see it across the board.
Okay, wonderful. And then my last question is for Bill again, and he can just give a yes or no, but are there any hybrid, you're right there, any hybrid school buses?
Well, there are different alternative fuel buses. There are propane buses. There are also gasoline is now coming back as a new alternative fuel, and diesel. But I don't believe there are any hybrid buses that are out there.
Okay, just curious. Yeah, and I get it. There's costs, but there is a lot of cost savings. I think people sometimes really don't think about with electrics, that you don't have the combustible engine. You don't have all those things you have to fix and replace like you do with the regular ones. So I appreciate you bringing that point forward. That's it for me. I'm good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. I just one follow-up question. I think we have a number of people in the community that volunteer to help supply plants and gardening products, soil, etc. for our. Am I correct? Or
yes, we did. And when we did our garden supply drive, we had community members, OCPS staff do donations for our seed bank for seeds that we are able to distribute to schools. But Home Depot also is very, one of the locations was very generous and provided us with plants and supplies to provide to schools too. So
yeah, and some of those smaller, more localized companies, and I hear from them, and it's kind of neat because they come away feeling so good that they're helping out. So that's neat. Yeah.
Yeah, and we do. We've had some of our green schools have partnered with local nurseries who have also helped them.
Yeah. Wonderful. Okay. Well, and that partnership, I don't know, the more we can build relationships in this community to support our schools, it just makes us stronger. It's funny how sometimes you ask somebody for something and you're surprised to know how glad they are to be asked, right? So it's a positive part of human nature. Well, great job. I think we're all just blown away by your presentation. And, for a board who has really wanted to see us thrive in this area, you have certainly, come through and exceeded expectations. So great job.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me ask real quickly before we move on to, before we move on to our public hearings, do we have any speakers on any of our hearings? Okay. Then we can move forward to public hearing 3.01, request for approval of a revised board policy ECA, building and grounds security. Dr. Vasquez, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is the first of two policies. The board has had a work session on policy ECA on the 14th of October. We made notification to both the Classroom Teachers Association and OSPA on the 1st of October. Notice went on the 5th of October, and we are seeking approval for the revisions to the policy at today's board meeting.
All right, thank you. We have no members of the public that want to comment on the policy. It doesn't appear that we have any board members with questions or comments. That being the case, I'll open the floor for a motion. Motion by Member Salamanca, second by Member Douglas. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Well, with all members present voting in the affirmative. And that takes us to, I think we have a 3.02, don't we? Thank you. Thank you. Takes us to 3.02 and request approval of revised board policy IHAM, local school wellness. Dr. Vasquez, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The board held a work session to look at revisions to the policy on the 14th of October. We made notification to both OSPA and CTA on the 1st. We published notice on the 5th of October, and we are seeking approval to the revisions to the policy at today's board meeting.
All right, thank you. Again, no members of the public, and it doesn't appear that any board members have questions or comments, so I will entertain a motion. Motion by Member Ferrant. Is there a second? Second by Vice Chair. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion carries with all members present voting in the affirmative. And next we are on the consent agenda. Again, we have no public comments. We have no board comments. That being the case, I will open the floor for a motion on the consent agenda. Pardon me? Okay, we have a motion from Member Vanos. Do we have a second? Second by Member Felder. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries with all members present voting in the affirmative. All right, now we're on to 1701, School Board Reorganization and Election of School Board Vice Chair. I'll open the floor for a motion in just a minute, but just a couple of reminders. One, nominations do not require a second, and I would ask that board members that wish to make a nomination, if you would use the button, I'll identify you at this point. So the floor is now open. Member Ferrant, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to nominate my fellow board member, Maria Salamanca.
Okay. Are there any further nominations? Member Felder, you're recognized.
Yes, I'd like to nominate myself, Vicki Elaine Felder.
Okay. We have 2 nominations, and let me ask the formality. Member Salamanca, would you accept the nomination?
Yes, I would be honored to. Thanks,
Okay,
Chair.
and Member Felder, I think the answer would be yes, obviously. Okay. By Robert's rules, we'll take the vote in the order that the nominees were listed. All in favor of Member Salamanca, please say aye. Aye. So we have 4 members in favor of Member Salamanca. All in favor of Member Felder, please say aye. 2 members. Member Vanos? I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So the vote goes to Member Salamanca. All right, we are on to 1702, request approval of officers to the leasing corporation. Excuse me. I'm recessing the regular meeting of the Orange County School Board and calling to order the meeting of the Orange County School Board Leasing Corporation. The first action item is requesting approval of the minutes of the Orange County School Board Leasing Corporation dated November 19th, 2024. I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes of the Orange County School Board Leasing Corporation dated November 19th, 2024. Is there a motion? Sorry. Help out. I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry. I got this far with no coughing. Okay, we had a motion by yeah, you have to move. Member Byrd?
I'll second it.
It's seconded by Member Farrar. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries with all members present voting in the affirmative. Vice Chair. Vice Chair. You're gonna have to, somebody's got to step in. I've got to do it.
Do you want me to do it today? Just right here. It's right here.
Make sure you clean this.
7.17 right here.
Okay. All right. Mr. Palmerini, do we have anyone who has come to speak to the school board on 17.03?
So, Madam Chair, we just approved the minutes. We now have to elect the officers for the leasing corporation.
I was misguided by previous vice chair. Huh? Okay.
Yeah. So, according to the what we need to do is that we need a motion to accept the recommended slate of officers, and it's listed in the agenda item 17.02.
All right. So then we would have to a motion to approve the minutes of the Orange County School Board Leasing Corporation.
We just did that. So we need to move the proposed slate of officers. And for the benefit of the board members, the proposed slate of officers is the president of the leasing corporation would be the chair, Teresa Jacobs. The vice president would be the vice chairman from the school board agenda item 1701. That would be yourself. The secretary would be Dr. Vasquez, and the treasurer would be Doreen Concolino.
Are we ready for a motion? Motion to accept the recommended slate of officers or a recommendation for another slate. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
All right, a motion for the recommended slate of officers is on the table. Is there a second?
A second.
Second by Member Vanos. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is a request approval to rename the Orange Technical College West Campus Event Center to the Dr. Michael D. Armbruster Center for Collaboration.
Madam Chair, I hate to be the formal guy here, but we have to adjourn the meeting of the leasing corporation and come back into.
I'm sorry. Yes, of course we do. I was wondering why this was under that. Honestly, I was like, this isn't. So I will now adjourn the meeting of the leasing company and reconvene the meeting of the Orange County School Board.
Thank you.
And now I will request approval to rename the Orange Technical College West Campus Event Center to the Dr. Michael D. Armbruster Center for Collaboration. I have a motion from Member Vanos, seconded by Member Douglas. What did I say?
But it's okay.
Okay. I'm sorry. Motion by Member Ferrant, seconded by Member Douglas. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. I'm just trying to get through this. We're back.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Oh, God. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll just, you know what, the previous vice chair can fill in. Superintendent.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. So I have a couple of announcements. First, we all know that many of our families are struggling because of the SNAP benefits being paused. But I have not been given permission to give the name of the organization, but I do want to share with the board that we have an incredible partner that is going to be donating over $200,000 from one partner and $14,000 from two other partners to help fill our food pantries. And so we'll be able to have the official announcement soon. But again, we are so thankful that we live in a community that wraps their arms around our children and our families. I also wanted to remind our families and our employees that the start time survey is out there. It's open. It closes November 21st. For those that may not be familiar, we are taking input as to whether we want to change our school start times. The information is on our website. We really do want to hear from you and how you feel about changing start times. Started the day today with some unexpected mail. We received letters asking for over 50 of our schools to be sites where they would co-locate with charters. Thanks to our incredible team, I do want to give credit to Greg Moody, Kia Scott, Ben, who have been working feverishly to be able to identify which of those schools truly are eligible based on the vague legislation that we have before us. And so I'm happy to report that we believe the most is 9, but we believe it's closer to 5. One of the schools is not a Title I school. 2 of the others have been misidentified. We are planning to have a work session with the board on really schools of hope, co-location, so that you have a better understanding. But for now, what we need our community to understand is that the ability to co-locate is creating a number of challenges for our schools. And what that means that a authorized operator, of which there are less than 10 at the state, can request to take over and educate children who are either in persistently low-performing schools or in the opportunity zone. And so we are working through the request, and we'll be responding. We will obviously keep the board abreast, but it is definitely something that is very concerning. We need more clarity on what is allowed. Currently, as you're reading the legislation, the entity can come and locate in the same facility as another school. We would be responsible for paying custodial services, food and nutrition services, transportation services. And so if you could just imagine 2 schools operating, on one campus, and we understand that there may be some clarification that comes to the language of the next legislative session. We certainly are hopeful that we are able to do that. Additionally, as part of our ongoing conversations around declining enrollment, our teams have been studying various solutions to studying various solutions as to how we maximize the use of our facilities. I spoke earlier, we're looking at micro schools, we're looking at targeted rezonings. Unfortunately, one of the things that we do need to look at is school redistricting. We are starting to have meetings. The first one is tomorrow at Union Park Middle School at 6 o'clock. Then the following week, we will have on the 18th a meeting at Bonneville and La Vista. On the 19th, we'll be meeting at Chickasaw and Eccleston. And on November 20th, we will be meeting at McCoy and Meadowwoods Elementary School. No decision has been made. This first initial meeting is for us to go out into the community and basically share what the facts are. The trending, declining enrollment, the cost of maintaining schools that have not met certain targets. And we've come to the point where we are no longer able to subsidize all of the programs at the schools with such low enrollment. And so we will have a conversation with the community. We'll take their questions. We'll come back, analyze all of that information, and then we will be going back out into those communities to have further conversations about that. I'm excited that tomorrow I'm hosting my very first Teacher of the Year Advisory Committee for this school year. Our topic is AI. You are more than welcome to come. It will be here beginning at 8:30. Our CIO, Maurice Dragon, has put together an incredible presentation. And really the point is for us to gather input from our teachers about their use, student use, what are their concerns, what are things, have they tried to use it, what are some of the successes that they have, and then we'll be able to use that to further our conversation and guide our policy and our work in that area. That is the end of my report for tonight.
Thank you, Superintendent. And I'm just going to follow up real fast before I call on Mr. Palmerini. And I just want to remind the public that the legislature is in, interim committee weeks. They're happening now. They're preparing for the legislative session coming up in January. This is when they're already putting laws together, they're writing language. This is the time for the public to reach out to your lawmakers. If anything that the superintendent just shared concerns you, now is the time. Don't wait, because they're already working on what they're going to legislate in January. So I encourage the public to share concerns, reach out, tell your stories, tell how this will affect you. And the people and the public are the ones that can make the change, not us. They don't really care necessarily what our opinion is, to be quite honest. But when parents show up and when voters show up and community members show up in Tallahassee and knock on their door or write letters and tell them what they're feeling, they listen most of the time. So I encourage you to do that. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I forgot really not the most important, but one of the positive, since there's not a lot of great news today, that we engaged with CASA K-12. They worked on a campaign to recruit former families to our schools. And so I'm going to say that I was a little skeptical. The benefit was that we would only be paying a portion of the FTE we would generate if the students registered and if they stayed for 30 days. And so I'm excited to report that they recruited or recovered 1,932 families. The projected FTE is 13,649,580, and our projected payment to CASA is $1,806,000, and so a net gain of a little bit over $11 million. And so we are excited that we were able to recruit these families. We're getting the results of our, survey 2, and sadly the numbers there were down. And so I'm glad that we were able to recoup these families so that our deficit is not as high. And we'll have our final numbers, I believe, for our next board meeting. So the board will be able to see where we landed as far as projected versus actual FTE. Oh, sure. Absolutely. So they recovered 1,932 students. And our potential FTE to be gained from those are $13,649,580, and our payment to CASA is $1,806,420. So I definitely think that was a good return on our investment.
Thank you, Superintendent. Member Vanos. You want to wait till then? Okay. General Counsel, your report.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Last Friday and Saturday, we were, myself, Sergio Ruiz, and Sarah Kopesky in my office went over to the fall conference of the Florida School Board Attorneys Association. We sat through a lot of great presentations, one of which involved Schools of Hope, which came in very, very handy today when we got those letters and having to deal with it. So that was also my last meeting after 2 years of being president of that organization. So I am very glad to give that duty over to somebody else. But it was a very useful meeting. And with respect to some other matters we're working through on Eatonville, we're in contact with Dr. Phillips. We're having conversations. We're moving that forward. As you all know, we're going to have a work session on December the 1st. We fully intend on having the contract completed, ready to, by then. Our intention is to have it completed and to you all before even the work session, so you can look through it. It's a standard purchase and sale contract, with some different terms in it. But we're going to have it to you so you have time to review it. As you'll certainly have questions at the December 1st work session. I anticipate that there will be questions coming out of it. And I anticipate folks from the town council and the town of Eatonville will be here at that December 1st work session to also give their views on it as well. But just wanted to let you know, I will try to do it before the week of Thanksgiving, but that always doesn't happen, but be on the lookout for it. And that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Palmerini. School board, or do we have any reports by committees? I don't believe we do. All right. Statement. Okay. Policy. Are there any policy level issues board members would like to talk about, or any other comments? We have Member Vanos.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. I really appreciate the update on the CASA recruiting. And, to me, it's not just about getting the money, for a district is important, but I think the most important thing was that we had people out in the community talking to parents and to families and to students to really understand why they weren't attending their school, and correcting, I think, some misperceptions, and also getting out the really positive things that are happening in their neighborhood school. And I think just that in and of itself is important, because those people will now talk to their neighbors, and it kind of spreads from there. So I'm really glad that we decided to try something new, and I feel like it was well worth it. So thank you for the update. The only question I had was with respect to Schools of Hope, and I just want to clarify that the Hope operator can operate in a school that is not a low-performing school, right?
And I know that Ben is here, so if I misspeak, please let me know, or our general counsel. So the school operator can operate a school outside of the opportunity zone within 5 miles if there are not sufficient seats within that opportunity zone. So for example, let's say they, one of our persistently performing little school is school X, and they want to serve students from that school, and that school has 100 empty seats. The operator can say, no, we want to open a school with 400 seats. And because there aren't any schools within that opportunity zone that have that many vacant seats, then they can step outside that. But it's got to be the nearest, closest school.
Here's the language. It's from Florida Administrative Code Rule 6A-1.0998271. A school of hope may be located outside of a Florida Opportunity Zone or a persistently low-performing school attendance zone in the nearest suitable, underused, vacant, or surplus facility if the district does not have such a facility available for the hope operator to use within a Florida Opportunity Zone or a persistently low-performing school attendance zone.
Okay, so if a school is available, the hope operator has to go there. If there's not, then my understanding of the law is that they could simply say, this option is unsuitable for us. Does the rule define what unsuitable means?
Why, of course not.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. There is, and this is one of the things that we discussed at our school board attorneys conference, is there is a lot of ambiguity in the rule. There's a lot of stuff that if you read it, strictly, then it could cause some issues. So it doesn't define nearest suitable, underused, vacant, or surplus facility. They would just use the dictionary definition of what suitable would mean.
Mm-hmm. So it really could, the hope operators co-locating in a school could, under this rule, could really expand far beyond, could really expand really throughout our county. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I am really happy, Superintendent, that you shared about CASA. That was on my list of things I wanted to ask about that and just kind of see how that was going. And it's been a little while. While I am excited that we've recovered funds, I do think that we could use funds ourselves to create our own group within OCPS to be the marketing team, which, if I know you well, you've probably already been thinking of that and scheming behind the scenes of some amazing group. And so that is something that I would love to see, where we are really working with our schools on their videos. For instance, Lake Buena Vista, I'll use them as a great example. Lake Buena Vista High School, this year, they have stepped up their game on social media. Every time I get on Instagram, they're showing some amazing video. I mean, everybody wants to go to this school because it is fun. They make it exciting. They showcase everything. So it's not just about one group of kids, but they're showcasing everything. And so I think if we were having that in every one of our schools, we had the social media was on point. Which is where I think all the parents are and the students alike. But really having kind of that group. So if we could take this funding and instead of spending it on a CASA group, but actually funding our own little group, which I don't know that we would need to spend like that kind of money every year, but really kind of honing in on that. I would love to see that. Because really we do have a lot to offer. There's a lot of great things going on. But if we don't market it well, parents aren't aware. And then the other thing I wanted to say was I was at Stonewick Elementary School this morning. As my favorite thing to go to as a board member is their Veterans Day program. They do such a phenomenal job, and the kids have just the most amazing voices, and I just love it. They honor the veterans so well, and so I just wanted to give a shout out to all of our veterans, everyone who has served and is serving currently. Our freedom is not free, and so thank you so much for what you have done and are doing to help our nation be amazing America.
Thank you, Member Farran. Member Byrd.
Thank you, Chair. Real quick, General Counsel, I just have a quick follow-up question. I know we're going to have a work session on the Schools of Hope, but it just struck me and I don't want to forget it. How does a charter school operator become a School of Hope operator? What do they have to do?
So there is criteria, I'm sorry, let me get near there. There's criteria that is in the law and in the statute. A Hope operator means an entity that has been designated by the State Board of Education as a Hope operator pursuant to the statute. And under the statute, they have to, hold on. I want to make sure I do this correctly. Give me 1 second.
I'm surprised you don't just have it up there, like ready to go, like you usually do.
Well, you know what? I was thinking we were landing and...
Sorry. You should know better by now.
Wheels up.
I should. So a Hope operator means an entity identified by the department pursuant to subsection 2, and subsection 2 is, here, hold on, a nonprofit organization with tax-exempt status under 501c3 of the Internal Revenue Code that operates 3 or more charter schools that serve students in grades K through 12 in Florida or other states with a record of serving students from low-income families and is designated by the State Board of Education as a Hope operator based upon a determination that the past performance of the Hope operator meets or exceeds the following criteria. The achievement of enrolled students exceeds the district and state averages of the states in which the operator schools operate. The average college attendance rate at all schools currently operated by the operator exceeds 80% if such data is available. The percentage of free students eligible for a free and reduced price lunch under the National School Lunch Act enrolled at all schools currently operated by the operator exceeds 70%. The operator is in good standing with the authorizer in each state in which it operates. The audited financial statements of the operator are free of material misstatements and ongoing concern issues and other outcome measures as determined by the State Board of Education. That's sort of a catch-all on the back end, but it's supposed to have a record of serving low-income students. I believe we currently have 6 or 7, and I believe one more is going to be on the next State Board of Education agenda, and I believe it's Somerset, but don't hold me to that. That's correct? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for that information.
All right. Anything else for the board? All right. Meeting's adjourned.
Thank you. And feel better.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can Bruce make you a big pot of chicken soup? Although he's
Oh,
been
he's sick, yeah.
sick.